But how about the Russians and their great players? What were they thinking back in 1987? Igor Larionov, one of the best Russian hockey players ever. Igor, thanks for joining us. You were on that team. So tell me, how unique experience was it for you?
Well, I guess when you play in Canada Cup, so it was my actually third Canada Cup, 81, 84, and 87. So and then going to 87 Canada Cup, that was the best against the best. That's what how we treat that tournament, and looking forward to bring the Canada Cup back to Soviet Union that time.
How much did you really know about the Canadian team? Now, obviously, you had faced them in earlier Canada Cups, but for instance, back in 1987, would you have seen NHL hockey in Russia?
Not much. They didn't show much of NHL hockey because it's only like 3 channels in Russia at that time, and we just got some little bit of small information about what's going on, but nothing else. So,
of the 3 channels, TSN was not one of them, just to confirm.
No, CBC actually was going to get in, but it's just only 3 Russian channels, and all about politics and political stuff.
Okay, I'm dying to know about the myths that we had for you guys. Did you guys actually really come over here looking for blue jeans?
Yes, we did actually. Yeah, we're buying some jeans when we finished the tournament.
And you went for dinner. We were just talking to Wayne Gretzky, and he mentioned you as the guy that stood out for him. He was shocked when you went to his house for the barbecue that you spoke fluent English. What shocked you about the barbecue at Gretzky's house?
Well, you know what? It's the first time you're allowed to go to anywhere, and we're going to Wayne's house, and he's meeting his mom and dad, and have a barbecue was to me unusual because nobody live in the houses in Russia, so you live in a small tiny apartments, and you go to the place like that and you see the trophies and they see the Wayne and his family, so and having a nice steak, and with first time I ate corn that time, was unbelievable. Okay,
so he served steak and corn on the cob. I imagine there was beer?
The beer wasn't allowed for us because we had a coach Tikhonov with us, so and Walter Gretzky, Wayne's dad, said, guys, there is a trophy room in the basement, so you guys can go by take turns and go down and get drink the beer and come back and eat steak. So we're kind of making the turns, all 5 of us, all the green unit.
Now that is a great story. The KLM line was there, and Tikhonov, your coach, actually only let you go, right, if he could go.
Well, you know what? When Walter came to me and invite all 5 of us on behalf of Wayne, so to come to the barbecue, and I we're more than happy to come. So we got asked to Tikhonov. Tikhonov goes like, well, guys, you know what? We in Canada, so we no Russian citizen or Soviet citizen allowed to go 40 kilometers radius outside of Hamilton. So and it's a KGB standard. So and then I asked Walter, what if you invite Victor to come with us? He goes to Victor, and Victor said, well, if I can go, it's I can bring the boys. So Victor was invited.
God, that is an amazing story. What a time, 1987. How important was the Canada Cup to players, but also to Russians in general? Obviously, it was the biggest thing in Canada. How big was it in Russia?
In hockey-wise, it's the biggest tournament you can imagine. So nowadays it's Olympics when you can get all the best players. But for us, it was kind of one of tournaments which is preparation for the '88 Calgary Olympics. And obviously, when you do well against top teams, so you expect to be a heavy favorite to go to Calgary in 1988, 6 months from the Canada Cup '87.
Igor, if Mike Keenan hadn't put Mario and Wayne on the same line for most of the final series, do you guys think you would have beaten them?
Michael, we had so many good players too. So and obviously, those guys they play their best hockey in the last those 3 games, and but in general, so that was outstanding hockey by both teams, and it was kind of as I said before, it's a masterpiece. It's a game I don't think you can imagine playing again because of that such a skill and the high level and pace of the game was incredible. So those 3 games were spectacular.
It was spectacular. Great to reminisce with you, Igor. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you.